So let's talk, what is the call? We have heard people say it's my calling, or I heard a call, or I heard an inner impulse, and I changed my life and I started a publishing company, I started a medical company, I started to study to become a lawyer, a doctor, a whatever. Okay, they heard a call. So what is that call? First, it is an inner urge that we feel. It is so subtle. It's an inner urge that we feel to turn around and change our path. This is symbolically given in, for example, the prodigal son. He is all the way in the worst conditions that he can be in. And one day he hears the call. He turns around and starts the path going back. That is so significant for us. So it is a sound, an inner urge, a request that comes from external sources. A subtle voice, maybe that we hear audibly. It is a hint, a suggestion, an inspiration that comes to you, and you know it's real. You know it's real. It rings true with every fiber in your life. There's no falsity in it. You feel it immediately. So it can come as a direct voice. People say that I heard a voice. Or they have a dream. Or somebody will give them a book, and that is exactly what they need to see. Changes their life. Sometimes they hear an inspired piece of music or a lecture or some writing, and it changes their life. I got an email just on the day of the Aries full moon, Thursday. It was really an interesting day. All day we got calls and emails from people who told us how a certain book, and particularly The Science of Becoming Oneself, that was the book that everybody kept referring to that day, changed their life. One lady said 8 years ago, I picked up the book, The Science of Becoming Oneself, and I just knew it was what I needed to read. And she was brought up in a different religion, and she said it didn't make any difference. It was like the true sound that was coming at me. She said, Gita, during that time, and she said, you don't know me, and I really don't know her, but she said, I've been following what you've been doing all these years. She said, I lost everything. We were millionaires. We lost everything, even our home. The tax man came and took everything, our cars. She said, I lost family members, 3 in one period. My dog even died, she said. And you know, that's really hitting hard when everything starts going down around you. And she said, what sustained me through all these years was reading that book. You see? So that call came to her to pick up this book because there's going to be choppy waters ahead, and it sustained her and kept her on track during that time. I got another call from a woman that I have known for over 35 years. She had a diary that was written in the 70s. She said, I just want to read to you some of the contents of my diary. And she read them, and she was crying on the phone. And she said, you know, this is what has sustained me for all these years. It was so beautiful, and this kept happening and happening. And I thought, here's the subtle way that we hear that call to turn our life around, to make our life different, through books, through dreams, through the voices of what other people tell us. Somehow we hear it. Sometimes life events compel us to make changes, such as loss of family, death, grief, or sometimes when we witness the grief of other people. For example, people who go to rescue others, who go to hurricanes or to devastated areas. They are so moved by what they see that it changes their life. I was reading about a gentleman in Southeast Asia who was a very great movie producer, and he was on vacation, and he noticed that the children were not going to school. They're half naked, and all they're doing all day is picking through garbage so they can earn the few pennies to feed themselves and their family. He was so moved, so heartbroken, that he decided to go back to Hollywood. This is a true story. Raised a bunch of money, went back and started establishing schools for children and giving them all the needs, their families, to sustain keeping the children in school so that that cycle of deprivation would be broken. His buddies said, are you nuts? You're giving up everything that you have? he said, I have heard the call. That's it. And he is doing marvelous things. So you see, in little things and big things, the call comes to us. We hear it, we witness it, and it is about going out of ourselves. It is beyond just taking care of yourself and your immediate family. It's beyond that. It takes you further out. Now, what is that subtleness, that quality of the call? It is so subtle and it is so deep that its vibration is deep inside of your heart. You hear it through your heart. It is not an intellectual response. You hear it in your heart. People will say, I have this feeling I want to do something. I know it makes absolutely no sense, but I feel it's right. It is so subtle. It is calming. All of a sudden, everything clarifies. Everything in your life clarifies. I went deep inside of myself to think, what was it that I felt when I decided to start TSG? Here I had 3 degrees, 2 graduate degrees and an undergraduate degrees, and I wanted to be a diplomat. I wanted to work in international fields. I wanted to get out there and negotiate and do all these fun things like travel. And on November 1st, I remember the day, November 1st, 1987, I went back home after leaving Sedona and I said, I'm giving my termination notice to my job. I had a great job. I had insurance for the first time in my life. I had health insurance. I had good paycheck. It was a wonderful job. I said, I'm leaving in 30 days. Why? I'm going to start a publishing company. And some friends did the numbers of a publishing company. You know, it doesn't pay. Nobody buys books to have you survive. Well, yeah, okay. They don't. But I don't care. I heard that subtle call, and all of a sudden, all my agony, all my anguish, all my I don't know what to do with my life, all my feeling sorry for myself, all these degrees and nowhere to go. You know the drill, right? I'm so talented and I have nowhere to go kind of thing. All of that disappeared. It was so interesting. None of it mattered anymore. Did I want to be a diplomat? Who cares? Did I want to travel? Who cares, right? All of a sudden, that came into my mind. I had no idea what to do for a publishing company. Got a book, started reading, and the rest is history 22 years later. You see, so I went back and I thought, it is just a soft clearing of the fog. That's what it is. That's the best I can describe it. And when you have that feeling inside of you, you'll know it. Whatever it is you decide to do in your life, you'll know it because you will hear it, and it'll be so fitting to your life's training, your goals, your inner needs. It'll just, everything will fit. Now, what's the objective of a call? Why would anybody bother putting a call out where most people don't even hear it, let alone listen and respond? The call is always there. The great Father in heaven is always sending that sound out. Come back. Become divine. Grow up. Okay? That sound is going out. So what is the purpose? The purpose is to bring us back into alignment with the direct divine light, love, and will. To change ourselves. To grow out of our self-centeredness. See, most of us as human beings, I will include everyone in the world, live for ourselves. This says you've got to turn around and look at others and serve others and expand your view of life. And it creates huge changes in your life and everyone around you. As soon as you respond to that call, you will never again be the same. Guaranteed. Everything that is non-essential starts falling out. Everything that is essential starts being focused. All of a sudden, life changes all around you. So your spiritual work that you do every day, your meditations, your prayers, your observations, your sincere striving on a daily basis is getting you ready to not only hear that call, or if you have heard the call, to stay more focused on it, to keep staying on it, expanding it as you see the need to expand it to the next level.
This is Gita Saraydarian, and I would like to thank you for your interest in this video lecture. We have books, booklets, and spiritual study courses on this very topic. Please visit us at tsgfoundation.org for more information on all TSG Foundation products and services. Thank you.